Citrus trees like oranges, lemons and even kumquats are fabulous trees for the home garden. Now if you're going to grow them in pots, you want at least 400 millimetres as a size. Get yourself something like this too. This is a Tuscan pot. It's a self-waterer. That means it's going to have a supply of water whenever it needs it. You can also grow dwarf trees. Now they've got to ask your garden centre for trees on the Flying Dragon rootstock. Now don't worry, they'll know what you mean. Now growing citrus is really easy. You can grow them pretty much anywhere across the country. But the key to success lies in the soil. You see, it doesn't matter if you've got sandy soil or even heavy clays. As long as you enrich it with lots of really good organic matter, they'll do really well. You see this squiggly little serpentine patterning going through the leaves. It's caused by one of the few pests of any consequence with citrus. It's called citrus leaf miner. Now it's a little moth that flies around just on dusk. It lays its eggs and the grubs cause this damage here. Of course later on they pupate and they eventually turn back into moths. If you don't treat this, you end up with all this damaged, gnarled foliage and it looks terrible. So it's a good idea to get control before they take over the whole neighbourhood. Nobody wants to use nasty chemicals in the garden, and one very soft treatment is a product called pest oil. Now the trick with affected plants is to cut back lightly with head shears, removing all the old damaged foliage, and then new soft green shoots will appear. Spray them straight away with pest oil and it stops the moths from laying their eggs and the eggs hatching. It's safe to use and it's very soft on beneficial insects like ladybirds. Now remember, always read the safety instructions and never spray on days over 32 degrees. That's a golden rule in the garden. Now one of the most important things for citrus is providing them with the right nutrients. You see they have very specific nutrient requirements, and whether you're growing them in the garden or in pots, in fact especially in pots, you do have to feed them. And that's where this very special Dynamic Lifter Advanced fertiliser comes in handy. Now if your tree is not producing many fruit, or maybe they're small and tasteless, you need to boost the plant with a specialised fruit fertiliser. It's recommended that you fertilise your plants in heavy soils at least twice a year, and in sandy soils I'd recommend you do it 3 times the year. It will do it the world of good. In pots, well, a small amount every 8 weeks will get them growing really strongly, and it's a great way to go. If you're not sure, well, of course, you can always check the side of the tub. And one last thing, make sure you always water the fertiliser in. Now this ensures the plant produces lots of lush green growth. In fact, it's actually more disease resistant and produces heaps of beautiful big plump fruit. Now a lot of this is attributed to the organic base in the fertiliser. It makes sure the soil's healthy, and that means that all of your plants end up growing to their best potential.